YouTube. What it do? This is Huncho TV. You now tuned in to my latest drop. And if you made it this far, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. And just know, your time here is highly respected and greatly appreciated here on this channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Despite Lacey's death in April, Ori hasn't stopped trying to exonerate him from allegations he caused a fatal crash in Thibodaux that took the life of 78-year-old Herman Hall.
Was a great man with a loving family.
State police charged the wide receiver with negligent homicide after they say his actions of illegally passing cars caused another car to fatally impact Hall's car as they swerved to avoid Lacey.
I've got everything. I've got every piece of evidence I have viewed. I've examined every piece of evidence.
Ori appeared on a segment on HTV with host Martin Folse to discuss what he found in the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's investigation as compared to the original state police investigation. The conclusion of the DA's report was that Lacey was not responsible for the wreck. Ori also shows surveillance video of the crash.
In the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacey come to a stop.
The video provides key insight that was previously withheld, according to Ori.
At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was ever painted. Never.
But perhaps the most concerning of Ori's findings,
sir.
This interaction recorded on body cam of a state trooper getting a witness statement.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
I ain't scared my for nothing. I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't know what was happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side. And I didn't.
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side.
Both Ori and the district attorney's office say the trooper coerced the witness into blaming Lacey, despite that not being his recollection of events.
All right, so for y'all who are not aware or up to date on this case, Kyren Lacey, he was a star LSU wide receiver. He actually entered the NFL draft and was supposed to be drafted in 2025. However, that was all cut short simply because of the false accusations based upon him. Before I continue, I just want to say my condolences to all the individuals that was involved in this, especially the individuals that lost their lives. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families. But this situation is very unfortunate for so many reasons. Herman Hall, he was a Marine. He had a great loving family that loved him, and it was very unfortunate that he succumbed to his injuries. However, it didn't have to be 2 lives. It didn't have to be any lives. Had that woman that was driving was paying attention, it wouldn't have been any lives that day. Everybody would have went home and made it safe to wherever they was going, right? Kyren Lacey, he had so much potential and so much upside. He had a bright future ahead of him, and it got stripped away from him simply because law enforcement failed to do their job properly. What happened to doing thorough investigations? We got all this technology, all these cameras everywhere. Why all of a sudden when stuff like this happen, we act like we don't know what the hell is going on? Right? For those of y'all who aren't aware of how he passed, supposedly he got into an argument with a family member, and he left and ended up on a short high-speed chase with law enforcement. And then he crashed and was found with a gunshot wound to his head. There's so much behind this story. There's so much loss, trauma, hate, anger. There's so many emotions behind this story from all parties involved. But I kind of want y'all to understand what this young man was dealing with, or could have been dealing with, that made him do what he did. So outside of him being falsely accused of negligent homicide, you got to think of all the endorsement deals he lost. You got to think of all the opportunities he lost as far as getting into the NFL. All of the friends he may lost, all of the supporters that he may lost, his agent in his ear, there's so much that's involved in this, especially when it comes to him. He went from being at the top of the mountain to at the very bottom, just like that. And it wasn't even his fault. And the most fucked up thing about it is, a lot of times when you are in that position, law enforcement can make that shit stick. You know how many people are still doing time today for crimes they didn't commit because of improper training, improper training, not doing the proper due diligence to investigate. There's so many bad pieces involved in this, and it seems like it's a never-ending cycle. You know what I mean? Y'all be safe out there. And make sure y'all stay out of harm's way, and, again, my thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to the individuals, all individuals, including LSU program. It's very unfortunate. We all wish that he could have held on a little bit longer until the light prevailed. You know what I mean? But if you like content like this, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. This is Huncho TV. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.